With Wealth for Life, there is a little bit of personal care.
We didn't go through the investing, and I don't think we would be where we are today.
I would never go to a bank directly again.
Let's do it together.
They're giving me more confidence.
We feel totally secure now.
It was just easy.
There's a capability there that we didn't even know we had.
Stressful wise, Anthony's always there.
After the first meeting, those fears were gone.
They make us comfortable before we made the next step to invest.
Who wants to work until they're 80? Seriously.
We actually have seen the benefits.
It's like nothing's changed, but we're getting wealthier every day.
They've laid out the plan out for the next 20 years and
Looks great.
And I know exactly where I'm going.
They really are the real deal.
We feel included.
I'm able to retire at a very younger age.
We're in the process of building our dream home after 18 years being stuck in the one home.
Financial independence for us and for our children.
Build something for our son, Rocco.
And set up our kids' futures as well.
Set themselves up for life.
They were amazing.
So certainly will make a big difference to you.
They changed our lives.
We feel included.
Go to Wealth for Life. Full stop.
Hey guys, Anthony Peluso here, founder and CEO of Wealth for Life, coming at you November 5th, I think it is, 2020. And as we move through 2020, things just get crazier and crazier and crazier. What a year. I wonder how we're going to look back on the year 2020. If you haven't heard, if you're in Australia, the Reserve Bank of Australia yesterday dropped its cash rate to a record historic low of 0.1%. So we're going to be talking about what that means for homeowners, what that means for investors, what that means for the market as a whole. So yesterday, the bank, Tuesday, the bank dropped its rate, as I said, coming out of COVID-19, and the Reserve Bank's reasoning behind it really was to get more credit out into the market. You would have seen recently the lending restrictions have eased up quite some bit for lenders and for borrowers. But Australia right now is facing unprecedented times with unemployment figures sitting just under 8%. And the Reserve Bank is really going to be doing whatever it can to assist unemployment. And that's the main drive. They want to get more credit out into the market, not so much more for homeowners, but more for small businesses, okay? It's all about stimulating the small business economy where they can start borrowing money. When you start borrowing money, you can employ more people, you can expand your business, and you can get, the economy turned around. Right, consumer confidence is the key thing too that the Reserve Bank and the Governor Philip Lowe is actually pushing into the market right now. When you look at how real estate works and whether what cycle real estate is in at any given time, the one thing that the media always neglects to mention, and probably the most important thing, is consumer confidence. So how do people feel about the current climate? How do people feel about their jobs? How do people feel about the market? That has such a significant influence over people's buying decisions and people's behavior. Okay? So consumer confidence has been quite strong in Australia for, going back probably 30, 40 years. Okay? So we've had it pretty good here as a country and our economy. Yes, we've had some crashes and some dips like any parts of the world, but generally speaking, consumer confidence has been quite good. So with COVID and everything that's been 2020, the government is really, and the Reserve Bank are really doing their best and working together to make sure that we can get some confidence back into the market and release some credit without too much fanfare. So what does that mean to all of you guys, right? With the cash rate being so low right now, it opens up a lot of opportunities, but it can also have a negative effect as well, right? Banks, as of recording this webinar, banks are yet to actually pass on the rate, okay? They're still indecisive how much of it they're going to pass on. if at all. Okay, so it's a bit of a wait and see kind of scenario right now. And, you know, it's interesting, you know, that I've been inundated with questions the minute that the announcement was made on Tuesday, Cup Day. You know, Anthony, is now a great time to fix? Right? Is now a great time to fix? I'm going to answer that later on, but here's what I will tell you. I don't see interest rates going up for at least 3 to 4 years, okay? Purely based on my understanding of the economy and what the RBA is looking to achieve, and have a read of their monetary policy too, by the way, right? But the fact that you can actually get fixed interest rates right now for approximately 2.35% for 3 years is also an indicator that I don't see the market, the rates moving up anytime soon. So now it's really a question of, will they drop further? And if not, is now the right time to fix, okay? And I'll share my view on that moving forward. So the thing that we need to look out for now is, are the banks going to actually pass that on? I know there's a lot of pressure from the RBA on the banks and a lot of pressure from the government on the banks to pass that on. But keep in mind too, you know, the bank has to go buy its money cheap, has to make its margin on top, and then package it up and put it out into the marketplace. So they also have their, you know, they've got to they've got their responsibility to their shareholders, right? If you're a shareholder of any of the major lenders, okay, cheaper interest rates are not the best thing you want to see. So this is the negative and the positive, right? So with every positive, there's a negative, right? So you could look at it and say, well, interest rates being so cheap is a massive indicator that our economy is in trouble, okay? It also gives the opportunity to homeowners to go from being tenants to homeowners, okay? So if you're an investor, you could have the view that there's not as many tenants around because they're all getting flipped now to homeowners because money's so cheap, right? So it's not all sunshines and rainbows when interest rates drop, okay? I personally like to see interest rates sit at around 4% because, you know, I look at the economy as a whole, okay? But I certainly can understand why people want to see interest rates much lower. Especially if you're a borrower, if you're a homeowner, right? And if you're an investor looking to get into the market. So, you know, with interest rates now, you know, if they get passed on, you know, what does this actually mean right now? Like, interest rates, you'll never see them this cheap again, okay? I think it's 1969 was the last time they were actually this cheap, right? So my advice to you is right now, get your finances reviewed as fast as possible. If you've got a home loan, get it reviewed as fast as possible, okay? If you're looking to get into the market right now, shop around. Banks are going to be extremely competitive. This obviously is based on the fact that they're going to pass it on. But get your loans reviewed as fast as possible right now, and don't just look at rates, okay? Interest rates are important, okay? And we're talking about interest rate drops, obviously, right? But don't be naive and just look at interest rates, okay? Because what I found, interest rates are usually sometimes the decoy. Okay, the banks want you to look at their headlines, right? When they do their marketing, it's all about the big, you know, 2.78%, right? With a star on top, right? With the asterisks, right? That's the decoy, okay? That's to get the phones to ring. That's to get you to go into the bank. That's to get you excited. Make sure you look at everything else that comes with it, okay? Because banks may give it away over here, but they make it back over here. They're not silly, all right? So certainly get out right now and start to have a look at what options are available for you. So what does it mean if you're a first homeowner? Well, given the interest rates, given the first homeowners grant, right, $10,000 in metro, $20,000 in regional, and the $25,000 builder boost that I think expires at the end of March, first homeowners right now are going to push property prices up in certain markets like crazy, okay? So if you're looking for real estate under that $750,000 mark, right, in Melbourne, Sydney, or anywhere in Australia, you're going to have a lot of competition on your hands, okay? So you need to be aware of that and have a look at, you know, what your next move is or what your strategy is moving forward, all right? Remember, where there's demand, there's growth, okay? If you're an investor, right now, you know, I say to people, you're not going to see money this cheap ever again. The worst thing you could do right now is continue to sit there as a spectator and just watch and wait. Nothing really good comes out of just watching and waiting. You notice when you go out to see a footy game, right? All the people that are actually making the money are the guys out on the ground, right? Not the guys, not the spectators. Any sporting event, you go see an artist perform at a concert. Who's making the money? The one on stage, not the ones in the audience, okay? So be careful about just staying on the sidelines as a spectator and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. There will never be a perfect anything in life, okay? It just won't exist because it's perception and it's your own viewpoint that determines whether something is perfect or not, okay? So if it makes sense for you in your current situation, I know I've said this all along, if your job is safe, if the banks will lend you money, get out there and borrow, but borrow responsibly. Okay, don't get in over your head. Give us a call. You know, I just got off the phone with an incredible client and, you know, I just said to him, in our business, the one thing I think we do better than anybody else is really, really responsible lending. You know, the amount of detail and the level of detail that my staff and my mortgage brokers pay in this area, I don't think any other business, any other company operates at the level we do. We are so articulate and we look at everything, okay? Before we dive into anything, okay? It's the big strategy gets set, but then we've got to make sure that one, we're protecting you, the homeowner, the investor, and we're getting you the right finance, not just any finance, right? But if it's part of a big long-term strategy, right? Let's set it up front at the start. So then it's something that you have moving forward, right? As opposed to just looking at an interest rate and driving everybody crazy just trying to shop for interest rates. Yes, it's important, okay? And I've mentioned that you should be out shopping around, but look at everything as a whole, okay? So get out of the stands if you're an investor, if you're a homeowner, and get out on the field and start borrowing money. You're never going to see it this cheap again. It makes no sense to keep money in the bank right now, okay? You look at Apple computers, right? Apple phones, right? These guys here right now have about $190 billion in the bank as a corporation, right? They've just put out a prospectus. They're going out borrowing. They're looking for $8.5 billion out in the market, okay? Why? They understand that money's so cheap. Why would they use their cash if money's so cheap? Go out and borrow, okay? You're never going to see money this cheap again. And it makes no sense to sit there as a spectator when money's, I mean, the banks are literally giving it away, right? It makes no sense to sit there as a spectator when it's this cheap. And if you know how to make your money work for you, you can get some great returns, okay? Whether it be in real estate, whether it be in the share market. So get your money working for you guys, all right? Give us a call, 1300-79, what's our number? 1300-793877, right? Because everyone's on the internet these days, right? It's all via website and email, or hit us up at wealthforlife.com.au. Listen, you know, you could look at 2020 in so many different ways, okay? And I know that it's been a challenging year for most people, okay? You turn on the TV and it's nothing but doom and gloom, nothing but drama. You pick up the newspapers and it can be quite interbulating, and it can be quite, it could land you in an apathy condition, you know, very, very, very quickly. I get that, I understand that, right? But it's up to you to be able to control the outcome. It's up to you to take responsibility for your situation, your family situation, okay? There are incredible opportunities right now in the marketplace. And I'm not just talking about real estate, right? But if we stick to the subject of real estate, there are incredible buying opportunities in the marketplace right now. And if you know what you're doing and you're parking your money in the right place, you're going to do very well over the next 5 years, okay? If you understand the Australian economy and what's going on in the world right now, and if you study patterns and markets, most of us can predict what we're going, you know, where we're going to be in the next 5 years. A little bit harder to do over the next 3 to 6 months, but over a long-term period, you know, we have been here before. right? As a society, as an economy, we have been here before. And surprise, surprise, we got through it, all right? So take advantage of the cheap money right now being offered. Even without the rate cut, money is quite cheap right now. I mean, you could fix at 2.35%, okay? You can get yields at 4.5%, okay? If you structure your finances accordingly, you can invest without it impacting your lifestyle, okay? And then you can actually duplicate that and create a system where you can get your money to work for you. So one day you don't have to work for money. That's the name of the game. Flip the scenario so you go from working for money to one day no longer working for money, but having your money work for you, okay? I've always said the only reason to have any working income is so that you can start to invest and then get to that point in life where your passive income or your portfolio income replaces your working income, all right? So take advantage of the cheap money in the marketplace right now. Prices are going to move up. It's impossible for prices not to go up with money so cheap, okay? Now, do we fix or not? Here's my view, okay? In studying the Reserve Bank's monetary policy, they're not, I personally think that if they need to have another rate cut, they will, although I don't think they're going to reduce rates any further, okay? I mean, they haven't closed that door, but I think they'll look at other quantitative measures to actually stimulate the market as opposed to rate cuts. Okay, we don't want to go into negative rate territory like Germany, Japan, and China did. Okay, I don't think that's good for the economy. So I personally don't think they're going to drop rates again, but I'd like to see what happens in March, at the end of March, before I make a comment on fixing interest rates. Okay, I don't see them going up. Okay. I'm not sure if I see them going down any further, and even if they did, again, the banks need to pass it on. But I'd like to see what happens in March once the Reserve Bank comes back in February next year. And when a lot of these stimulus packages and grants and JobKeeper and all those sorts of things come to an end. But, you should start to look at potentially fixing your rate if that's something you want to do, okay? Now, when it comes to fixing your rate, make sure you understand what that means, okay? A fixed interest rate is very hard to get out of, okay, without significant break fees, okay? So don't just jump into that. Come in and have a chat to us. Give my guys a call and talk to one of our brokers, talk to one of our advisors, right? And have a chat about your situation. What is it that you want to achieve, okay? Can't be just about getting an interest rate cut. What's the big picture look like, okay? Yeah, the interest rate and the finance structure is a part of that, I get that. But look at the big picture, because if you're going on a rate cut or if you're going on a fixed rate and you want to make a move 6 months later and your rates are fixed, it could stop you from making money, okay? I'll share one thing with you. You'll never get wealthy just saving. That's part of it, but you need to get out there and make money, right? Attract money, accumulate money. You're not going to achieve much in life if all you want to do is save. That'll take you so far. You can only save so much, okay? Get your money working for you. That's the name of the game. And when it's this cheap, if you know what you're doing, you can get great returns on your money, especially if you leverage it into things like real estate and a really good share portfolio. Get your money working for you, all right? And come and have a chat to us. We'd love to be able to sit down with you, look at your existing situation, whether you're a homeowner or an investor. Let's have a look at your home loan. Let's have a look at what it is you're looking to achieve long term and how we can make the current, the latest rate cuts a part of a much bigger long-term strategy. All right, so thanks for listening again once more, guys. And I think that's it for this week, okay? Thank you for all your questions too. Love your feedback, love your comments, even the cheeky ones out there. And, we're getting to the end of 2020. I wish you guys nothing but all the success in the world for you, your families, your loved ones. Hang in there. There's good things ahead. There's good times ahead. There's good things ahead. It's what we've had to go through right now, but yeah, I'm a very optimistic person. I tend to see the glass half full as opposed to half empty. There's some good, if you know where to look, and if you know where you're going in life, there's really good things out there. Okay, unfortunately, you know, it's not right in front of us. Where, you know, we see a lot of stuff out there right now that makes us think the world's going to end, and it's anything but good. You just got to change where you go get your information from, okay? And you've got to be able to get past the headlines, because there's really good things going on in the world right now. Sadly, it's not reported, okay? So it's not all doom and gloom, okay? So hopefully you got a lot out of this, guys. Interest rate cut in Melbourne, in Australia, start of November. You're not going to see any more movement at least till February, okay? I think the Reserve Bank's now gone for this year. But come in and have a chat to us. There's incredible opportunities out there. Banks are extremely competitive right now for your business, believe me. But you know, not one size fits all, okay? You may get a great rate over here, but other terms and conditions are not favorable. Loan to value ratios may not work for you. Certain lending criteria may not work for you. You know, if you're looking for a cashback offer, if you're refinancing, that may not work for you. So it's a bit of a, you know, plug and play and a bit of a puzzle. And you've got to be able to look at not just the rate, but the entire package, okay? And get your money working for you. 2021 is around the corner. All right, guys, take care. We will see you soon.